are broadcasting live from Lincoln Center, New York City. Once again, my name is Noor and I'm from INTI, International University, Malaysia. And together with me, I have a laureate student from Africa.
Yes, from Monash, South Africa. My name is Shingi.
And our guest speaker, Erik Wahl.
Yes. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to share. I appreciate it. My name is Erik.
So Erik is an internationally recognized gravity artist and also entrepreneur, and he's very well known to have raised so much money for charities. And it's a really great pleasure to have you here. Thank you for being with us here today.
My pleasure, truly was. So I just had the opportunity to share downstairs at the Lincoln Center for a large audience of entrepreneurs. But the fact that it translates over and is appropriate for students, I think is equally satisfying for me. As you can see, I just walked off stage moments ago. I painted live and then also spoke about innovation and creativity. So how to think like an artist, but yet act like an entrepreneur. So that's kind of my job now, is I get to perform live around the world, and it's pretty
good. And especially you carry that passion and enthusiasm with you. It's something that's so empowering. One of the questions I have is for students who are studying arts, or if they're not studying arts, how do they combine their artistic nature and make it into something meaningful and functional in their community? What would be your advice?
Specifically, I'd say that for me, art is not about producing a product, but art is about producing thinking. And so it's not about the final outcome of being a sculpture, a painting, a song. It is about the process of thinking and those things that enable expanded consciousness. And so how to, if you're in business, how to market differently. If you are branding, how to outthink the competition, how to work smarter as opposed to simply pressing and working harder and harder. So it's all about refining consciousness, expanding our mind so that we come up with new and different ideas that we hadn't previously explored before. And so that is appropriate both in art as well as in business, as well as in really any pursuit. It's the process of expansive thinking and then contracting and focusing and being disciplined.
That's so powerful. You're combining arts with design thinking. Really perfect. You have a question?
Yes, I do, definitely. Erik, as a world changer, one, and number two, as a person who drives innovation and excellence, what is it that you can say drove you into this field? What is it that differentiated you from everyone else? And how did you deal with getting into that particular field, particularly with art?
Sure. For me, I think it was started with curiosity and then fueled with passion. So I didn't have a game plan. My job hadn't been invented before, so there was no blueprint to be able to refer to see if I was doing a good job based on best practices or metrics. I had to invent them myself. And the thing that was most fascinating to me was live music and live theater. And so how can I channel ideas? How can I teach? How can I be a professor but not be bound by the four walls of a classroom? How can I bring in Jay-Z and U2 or the Rolling Stones and electrify an audience with fun, exciting ideas, and then also slip in actionable content for them to be able to use in business or in school or as an artist? And so I kind of reverse engineered this concept of performing rather than looking, I didn't first write a book and then go out and speak. I learned how to perform and how to be a front man and then wrote a book.
That's really great.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're pretty much an artist in a business world. How is the business world taken you?
Yeah, the thing is the business world has been fascinated by it because nothing that I say is rocket science. Everyone knows it to be true. It's a matter of how do we, in such a linear, structured, regulated, complicated world, how do we continue to access that innovation and creativity on a regular basis? And how do we use it to fuel ourselves and to remain curious and passionate like we were as a child? How do we incorporate a beginner's mind into learning social media? How do we incorporate a beginner's mind into becoming more diverse and more tolerant as a globe? How do we become more actionable and more substantive in the products that we provide, in the humanization of our businesses? There's so much, I think, opportunity that exists right now because there's so much disruption. And everyone who loved the way things used to be or want to return to the way things were, or the good old days, the future is going to be a nightmare for them. For those that are embracing this uncertainty, these disruptions, for those that can't wait for the next major shift, I think that's where tremendous opportunity is going to be had. And it's for those who are mentally agile, those who are mentally tough enough to overcome short-term obstacles. I think that's where the greatest success is going to be, are those who are comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right. I think it is part of the process of getting up when we face certain challenges that becomes the fuel and develop our passion to create a better impact.
Developing a resiliency to failure, perceived failure, is a huge competitive advantage. And if you can experience setbacks, challenges, failures, and not be labeled and disabled by them and use them as fuel, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success.
Right.
And if you can use those as stepping stones, it's like, it's the first attempt in learning, in that kind of acronym. If we look at failing as our first attempt in learning, the first time we draw, it's not perfect. It doesn't look like a Rembrandt. But if we do 100 of them, they might get better over time.
We definitely learned a lot from you today. We want to hear more, but sadly we're running out of time. But thank you so much for being here. We love your thoughts and we're very inspired. And I think a lot of students and also budding entrepreneurs will do greater things out there because of what you have shared with us.
Nice. And
so thank you.
Wherever you are around the world, hit me up on social. I am trying to learn your language. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. Hit me up and help me learn your language better, because that's only going to make me a better artist and entrepreneur going forward.
So thank you, and we will be back to you soon.